Okay. So apart from the fact that the water wasn't actually orange juice, I think that's it. And you know, and the lady walking in.
The substance. Oh yeah, I can look back at that later. So
Yeah.
I kind of didn't really notice she was coming out. I knew there was something in the room because I was over there in the moment. I kind of didn't know who it was.
Okay, so the first note I have for you, and pretty much the only note that I could pick up on during that, was the first time you go, I thirst for blood, which
in the monologue piece.
Yeah. So when you're on about it, you sort of got a little bit aggressive with it, said it as if you were saying it in a mellowish tone, but saying it the way you say it at the end. And at that point, I'm droning out. But I feel like if you are aggressive,
if I was doing that, it would wake you and tune you back in.
So I think there still needs to be emphasis, like, I thirst for blood. I thirst for blood. Like, you know, sort of, so people recognise this as sort of, it's not you rambling on anymore, this is you revisiting your memories.
Yeah.
That will stay with them, because it's not too long until you actually do the
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And that way, with that emphasis, I'll memorise it, it's there, but I'm still droning out, and for me, the first time will be when I'm getting chased around the bloody table.
Yeah, okay, I like that. I did think when I did, because we discussed this last time, and when we did it for the dance studio, we were saying, how are we going to get that bit across? And I think I was letting it pass too easily last time. I think it was just like, I went around crazy shouting, I thirst for blood. And I think this time I tried to put too much, like you said there, it is, and I agree with that. I didn't notice it as I was doing it, but now you recall it to me, I can remember doing that, and it was too aggressive. So, yes.
One thing I want to ask you about me, right, something that I've been taking personal note of, and it's bothering me, but it's something that I know I can work on, but I want to know if you're picking up on this as well.
Okay.
So, the person I am, the character I am, I imagine my posture is quite supposed to be upright, it's supposed to be, you know, quite stiff.
Well spoken, I imagine you to be.
So whenever I'm listening to you, I tend to have sort of a position like here, or like this, or like so. But the only problem is with me that I'm finding right now is that I'm fidgeting. I feel like I'm fidgeting as I'm listening to you. Like sometimes, I mean, I can't help it with my hair, I'll sweep it to the side, but when we're actually in costume, I help you sit back, so I won't be playing with that. It'll mostly be how I'm sitting, or where my arms are, and I feel like when I'm listening to you, with some of your points, it sort of causes a reaction with me where I sort of change my position, but then I figure, actually I don't want to start this, I want to go back so I'm actually listening, and I feel like
I'm not noticing anything that's too bad, and fidgeting, I suppose, could take attention away from what's happening, but it doesn't, because in this situation I think it works, because you are in this scene as much as, even though the monologue is technically this side, but God knows how long, it's you that they're watching over there, and I think at this point, someone's talking to you, you would be kind of, yes.
I think so.
I think you're going to be going through changes. I think because you want to drone out, in my opinion. I don't think you really overly care that much that I'm talking potentially about killing myself at the start. I'm in a stressful day that I've had throughout. And then obviously at the end, you obviously don't care because you kind of like, oh, he's asked me a question. Yeah, I do understand. Yes, I do. I do know how you feel. Yes. Oh, I'll take all this away. So I think it's fine. You're zoning out. You're doing your own thing. You're fidgeting, and you're still getting some reactions in there. I mean, there is something. I mean, I don't want to space it exactly like the little movie we saw, but there was something about the dog beating here, and I'm pretty sure he says, because this bit is when it goes on, he gets the move chair about the sleeping pattern, and I'm pretty sure it was something like, what do you do? What do I do? And he sort of like answered the question, so it's like, oh, I don't know. And I stand there looking at them, blinking at them like a donkey that's been beaten. And I think in the thing, Mackenzie, you laughed at one point, I don't know what it was.
It was me.
Dancing. Yeah, dancing.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't need too many laughs in there, because that one would have been enough. So it's good we found, or you rather have found your own place to laugh at something that has come at you. Whereas in the film, it was, I'm pretty sure it was the blinking donkey, because Gervais is walking off towards the sofa to sit down to get ready for that bit. He says, I stand there looking at them, blinking like a donkey that's been beaten. And he laughs, and he goes, kind of, oh, you doing laughing at me. And then, so
I don't know, I feel like that line is like, I know
it's not as funny as that.
No, it just sounds like quite, it just sounds quite serious, not scary serious, but it doesn't sound funny to me as a character. You dancing sounds much more.
I agree completely.
Okay, so
How then would you think that I should react if you're laughing? Is it a more of a stern look, like why are you laughing, or is it a you think that's funny, me dancing? Do you think I should incorporate that, or do you think it's just a
what's the difference between the two?
well, if so, a look would be funny, I think. Not to try and force comedy out. I think it should be natural anyway. Obviously, it's a natural piece, but I think it should be more natural than trying to. Do you think this is funny?
No.
That's not.
If that's what you incorporate, saying that, you should say
So
that.
either something like that, it won't necessarily be that, but either something like that, or just in case of me dancing, then you laugh, and it's. Let me tell you what happens next.
I think it shouldn't be so much of a, because that's you've just taken that, and that would make it so you are very clear that I just laughed. I think it's sort of a hidden thing. Like, did you just laugh? And I think you just thought that you seen me laugh, so I'm quickly covering up. And it's sort of that's why we're continuing it. Otherwise, maybe you'd go off to a tangent like, what? It's funny. You're already on a tangent. Who knows what you go off with?
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like I laughed. You saw it. I think I saw you looking at me as I laughed. I'm covering up. You're thinking, did you just laugh at me? You better not have. Anyways, back to the point.
Okay.
So,
that's a valid point.
Someone coming in again.
I was more worried about what the beeping was, thinking it was fire alarm, but it's
That's
all
on,
so good. Hi, Sonia.
How are we getting on?
Just doing a chat discussion about our rehearsal just now.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, that's why I think it shouldn't be so much of it should be quite a subtle reaction.
little.
I think even that is enough for the audience to catch on, because of our reaction. We already have all the eyes on us.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to spot the subtle little between us.
Okay. We said something off camera before, and I'm just going to say it now in case this camera turns out to be really good and some good points are made here.
Mm-hmm.
I do think personally, I don't know how you felt. Yes, we made it the whole way through without properly messing up. There was just a few things that we kind of had to. Well, I personally had to ad lib to try and make that monologue flow as I wanted it to, but I don't feel like it was a natural tone of voice for me personally. I feel like I was forcing some of that, or maybe my
There was
emphasis was
a
in the
lot
wrong
of laughter.
place.
There was a lot of quite crazy hysterical
Yeah,
laughter.
it changed a lot
Is that
from the last
something
time we
you
did it.
want?
I never saw that until today. For some reason today that came out, and I don't know, without looking at why I've done that, whether or not that should stay. Because I mean, I don't know where it came from today, but towards the end it kind of makes sense because he's talking about maybe I should go and see the two shrinks, Tchaikovsky and Mazowiecki, because all of a sudden when I get bitten or the tennis thing, I get crazy. So I don't know if he has got tendencies, and I'm only just finding them and I want to bring them in, or if it's just something I've done out of nervousness today, trying to remember. I know this, but maybe I was just nervous trying to remember it, so it was kind of like, maybe I've forgotten this bit, so yeah, me. Anyway, next bit, what am I going to cover up?
Back to what we've previously discussed in other rehearsals, we talked about the kinds of energy building up at certain points, right?
Yes.
So maybe that laughter comes out at the highest point of tension and energy that you feel in the monologue. Maybe as it's building up and building up, you have that little sinister, little creepy, crazy laugh, and as it goes down, there's no form of that kind of laughter as you're talking about the other things.
I just don't want to come out like the Joker because I feel like it was creepy, hysterical laugh, and I don't want to be portrayed.
It's not so much creepy, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You've lost your bloody mind, that's what's a joke, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it screams Joker to me if I was to be doing too much. We are getting crazy.
Okay. Well, I mean that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I didn't see any problem with it. I was just thinking,
I just think it's just something, I don't know, it's just things like, I mean, for naturalism, because I noticed you've got like a posher voice as well, but yours works in my head. When I'm here, if it was natural, and we're not meant to be putting accents on it, because it's technically a Russian piece, so we have to speak Russian, but we can't, because we're here, so realistically we have to translate it, which is here, into English, right? But I still want to talk in an English, and I know there's going to be feelings and emotions that I've got to bring up to get this sort of attitude out, but I feel like it would be, now if I wanted to, as we're talking, this is my voice, but if I was doing this, I feel like I'd change. So it's like, if it was normal, it would be like, stop, okay, let me get my breath, okay, please? Holy shit, I'm as tired as a dog. And I'm not. I'm like, oh, stop, please, let me catch my breath. I'm as tired as a dog. I have a sensation all over my head and my body. And I feel like that's acting, not natural. And I don't know if I'm defining a...
Well, I don't speak the way I speak.
No, I know, but yours works in my head. I don't know if mine's working in your head. When you're talking to me, that works. I see you as this, oh, what is this nonsense? I'm posh, I'm an old English, right speaker, blah, blah, blah. And I see you as this. But when I'm trying to visualise myself, I feel like my voice has changed today. Like last week, I was happy with my voice when we were in the dash. Today, I felt like it was forced out.
Well, okay. Not that we need to interpret or copy by any means that film that we watched of this, but what's the accent that your character has in that movie? It's the same as he regularly speaks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? And the other version of me, I don't think he's even got an accent on, really.
No, I think he's a little bit up posher end than Mackenzie Cook normally is, but not too much. That's what I'm worried about now. I feel like I'm suddenly putting a voice on that's not natural. And I don't know if you noticed it, but I feel like today I put a voice on. I felt like it wasn't quite as it could have been.
It felt like there was a lot more tension within you.
But that's good because I want the tension. I'm trying to build that. That's what I've written here as well. I'm trying to show more tension and frustration than anger. So that's what I'm going for. So if that works,
definitely within your voice. Maybe you might want to slow it down though, because I know you're going through all this very, very quickly.
Okay.
Not that I want you to go at a snail's pace, because this is the speed of which you're saying things is supposed to sort of display how frustrated you are. But I'm just thinking for the audience point of view, we might need it just a tad bit slowed down.
Okay. So I need to go back through this maybe. I mean, I had kind of did this already, and I put where I want my pants. I know we did this together and we've got separate pieces, but I've kind of done my own. So I need to be looking at this again of where to... Is there anything, I don't know how well you know this side of it, but is there anything that you thought was too rushed or over?
I think there was one moment, not that it was rushed, but I suddenly forgot where exactly we were, because you were talking about the notes in your pocket, and then I was waiting for the bit where you've got the note, you've slammed it on the table, and then you say, and I've got 5 more, and you're supposed to pull them out, and okay. Well, that was...
I personally forgot. I had to cover up and pull back to that.
Okay. Well, that was just the one moment that I felt like I had lost where we were.
Okay.
But in terms of speed, it's nice that you slow down at each checkpoint, and if you're speeding up at the end of it, that's fine, because that's showing how the energy is changing and you're building up and you're getting more frustrated at each sort of area of which you're coming to the end of what you're saying.
Yeah. What do your P's mean on your script?
My P's mean pause.
Oh, okay.
Or, either pauses or sort of checkpoints, basically.
Yeah.
The breaking it apart as for what you're saying.
Yeah.
If we've lost any other questions on the script for right now, I do have one question for us to sort of think about. Is how did my character and yours meet, do you think?
See, this is a good question. And then until when we did the hot seating, I thought I knew. But after the hot seating, I don't believe that we're as close friends as I first originally thought.
Okay, then. So
I believe I see you more as a friend, even though maybe that's in my head. Maybe we're clients in some way, and in my head, because I'm a little bit messed up, I see you as a friend, and you are a friend. You're my friend. It's like a bit psychotic.
So, how did you see us meeting before our hot seating?
Okay. See, I've not thought about that as much as I probably should have done. I just thought it's maybe they grew up together. Maybe they've been friends for a very long time. No real meeting point or place.
They
just grew up together and knew they lived near each other. They maybe went to school together. They had a really long, strong background relationship. He's come here because he considers him a friend, and he wants him to help him, listen to him, and try and tell him everything's going to be okay. But in the end, he didn't. So you're not really a good friend. So that's the only thing at the end is what's made me go, we're not really. And then the hot seating ripped it apart.
So after the hot seating, how do you think we've met now?
I actually think that potentially there's a potential that we still sort of grew up around each other or knew each other from school somehow, like in like a other class on the side of the school or something like that, or you know, other side of the town. But so they had a connection, but it wasn't strong. And that perhaps just whatever your job is that you are, like you do, when we got to you, was it like a bankery?
What, for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sort of saying how I sort of was a financial...
Yes, like advisor, loan person.
Yeah.
So obviously I've had some troubles in my life, and potentially I come back to you, I need a loan please. Okay, bang, I've got some money, I need a loan please, sorry. Okay, can I pay it off? Oh, another loan. So there's this relationship potentially, but then that confuses me because right here at the start, when he starts saying, my assistant's gone off on holiday, my other assistant's gone off to get married, and all the other small fry, so is that meaning I'm high powered, I've got an assistant, I've got to think he would have a good paid job then, right? He's got his well presented job, yes it's an office job and he's dealing with simple surveys and references that it seems like, but maybe he's high.
Okay, how, if you're saying this, yeah, so when you're complaining about people, you're complaining about someone having gone off getting married, yes?
Yes.
We can presume back in this day that people got married at a fairly relatively early age, yes?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah, I think they probably would have done. Don't forget, we're in Russia here as well, so I don't really know all the rules of Russia, but yes, it was probably more common to get married earlier.
Okay, well this is only hypothetical.
Yeah.
If we were to go along with that thought, do you think you're what, a middle-aged man, you're a family man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 2
and
kids.
you're the boss, right, of a place
Yeah.
where perhaps there are people half your age working there as well. You are stationed at a place where people who've lived the half of the extent of your life and you're working in the same place as them. So even though you may be a higher station or a boss or whatever, you're still working in the same place as people who may not be as experienced as you.
Yeah.
So are you that high of a position?
Well, that's the other thing, because even though he says, all the other small fry that come in, he says it like that, all the other small fry. So am I a small fry? And all the other small fry that come in is part of me?
Well, that's for you to decide.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the other thing I've been trying to think of, is how much status does this character have? He's a dog's boy, he does everything for everyone, so he's got to be quite low, right? But then that's just a custom. That's something that is meant to happen to anyone. It's summer holiday visitor, blah blah blah.
Do you think, right?
My son is killing him, I'm so sorry.
The way I looked at it before was that you are so stressed because you're the lowest status.
Yeah.
Even in a situation where actually, you're not dirt poor on the streets, but you may well be having a worse time than someone who is dirt poor on the streets. However, with that just said in mind, it's crazy to think that if you are high power, if you have a high status at work, and you have a lower status around your family, around the streets, even it seems to me that no matter which status you have, you are stressed.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not frustrated.
Yeah, I've got the stress and frustrated, I think, definitely in my head.
It's quite amazing how no matter where you are, you're having an awful, frustrating time. Whereas...
And this is every day.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter where you are, who you are just having an awful time.
See, first thought was he was, and I know the rest of this script makes it seem like, yes, he is low of low, but here in his job, and I don't know, I mean, again, I have to stick in the office, it's maybe not, well, if you were the boss, you wouldn't have to, so I suppose these are the clues and the lines that are saying he is lowest denominator, with all the small fry that he's saying. But there's just something about this that makes me feel like he is actually quite high powered here, and it's only when he leaves the office that that's where I have my power. Here I have nothing, and that's why he does all this. Because Christ, I mean, personally, I've been in jobs which I hated, and I've been pretty good position. But that's it. That's where I have my power, in the kitchens at work. That's it. So,
Do you think when he's saying with all the other small fry, he's saying it from an emotional point of view, he's calling them that because they don't have the courage to do what you're doing now, where you're potentially quitting your job, quitting your life, you're going to get a gun and just blast your brains out?
So you say it's courage, and I say that's a coward's way out. I say he's a coward for wanting to do that.
Well, he's doing something that the others aren't.
Well, he
That's
is.
courage or cowardice is for you to decide. But is that another sort of angle from why he's saying it like that?
I suppose potentially it is.
It's just one more to take into
Yeah, yeah.
consideration.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because he, like all the others, I was trying to think to myself, can he quit? Can he quit that job? Is he saying with all the other small fry because he doesn't think that they'll ever quit, but he can? I'm thinking to myself, he can't quit. There's no way he can quit. And the only way he can quit is not to quit the job, but to literally quit his life.
Yes, okay. It's a pretty bad way out, but yes, that is in his head he believes it's a decent thing and he's strong-minded, right? Someone's not going to do it, aren't they? Who was it?
Santonia. Should we finish it there?
Yes, okay, we'll
Okay.
finish it there. I'm quite happy.
Brilliant.